Yeah?
Are we locked in?
I'm lost.
Wow. Okay, ready? All right, so we're going to switch it up a little bit.
Right.
And we're going to talk about how we can apply what we just spoke about in real life.
Right.
IRL. Hey, hey,
grace,
Lord,
grace.
would you?
Grace.
Okay, but I think I would love to bring some people into this conversation that aren't necessarily sitting on this couch. So I'm gonna turn it over. My friends over there. Hi.
Can you hear me?
We're so far. First of all, I'm pretty sure the only people. Okay, there's a lot going on over there. Okay, so we wanna ask you, when we talked about consecration and walking in confidence, this is all cute, but how do we actually walk this out? What does that mean in 2025 on a day-to-day basis? Someone help us out.
Not all at once.
Not all at once.
Nice.
I'm going first.
Ladies first is crazy.
Hi, everybody. This is welcome to my
Oh my goodness, please, for the sake.
Right. So how can we walk this out is the question.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like with many things when it comes to faith and acting on your faith, it's so important to not overlook the little things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's so important to little things, let's say smiling, let's say opening the door, let's say being kind when you're not usually kind, let's say being kind when you're not in the mood to be kind. And it's important to like look back, to study, to remember all that Jesus did.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I mean? Like throughout his life and his time on earth. And so if we're thinking, let's say going back to the whole being confident and approaching God's throne boldly, when you remember that God is your best friend, that God is your father, that God has already paid the price for you, when you remember again that there's nothing that can surprise God, there's nothing that can separate you from God, that should be so encouraging to you. That should not be something that scares you. And so even when the temptation comes and you're like, you should be able to just go to him. Just even mention it. God, I feel like I'm struggling with this. God, I feel insecure about this. Like, I need your help. What should I do? Help me to get out of this situation. Help me to keep my focus on you when I'm feeling like this. So just remembering that it's not something bad to feel the way that you do at times, but the problem comes when you act on it and you don't instead run to God.
That's good. That's good.
So that's what I would say. Run to God and prioritize the little things, because every little thing that you do should be a reflection of God. And whether you recognize it or not, people are watching. If you're saying you're the light, if you're saying you represent God, it's okay to make mistakes, but it's even more important to go back on those and to reflect on those and to correct them, because God's trying to correct you.
Period. That's good.
That was a good one.
Shoot that up. That's really good. And I think that very much speaks to this idea of walking out this faith, coming to his throne in boldness, but walking out as a light that is set apart, where your actions actually reflect that. So, okay, now what about consecration? We talked about this idea of be holy as I am holy. And just literally looking different, but taking practical steps to operate differently. With that being said, controversial question. In real life application, does that mean that, like, is the question of Christian music versus secular music? Is this like I can only talk to Christian people, I can't talk to people who aren't Christians because we're supposed to be set apart, right? So, like, or we're supposed to consecrate ourselves. So does that mean I should just be in my room forever and not have any interaction with society? Someone help me.
Who wants to do it, guys?
So pretty much to answer your question, great question. Come on. I do believe that in terms of like being around non-Christians or being with Christians, I think you kind of have to have a balance. So, like, I think the people who you know are Christians are there so that you can participate in community. and be in fellowship with other people, as I said before. And so, like, that is so important that you do have a community of people who you can go back to, who can keep you accountable, that who can provide you support when you need help, right? But at the same time, like, being around non-Christians is also important, because I think Mathew has said before that like, what's the point of being? You don't put a light under a bowl.
That's not
Right.
Matthew 5. Come on.
Yeah, because like, what's the point of being the light if you're not around to actually shine? You know.
Yeah, that's good.
So, like, there is a balance you need to have with that. So yeah.
So, but what happens if the people that you're being a light in? Because I've also seen people who are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be friends with everyone and do life closely with people who aren't Christians, but then they start acting the same as them. So, like, what is the balance between loving people but not being like them? And like, it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's very easy to mold or shift. So
Yeah.
how do I navigate that?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is probably just boundaries, and just, like, understanding that, like, you're not like, you're in this world, but you're not of it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm around you, and I'm here to, like, do the things that represent Christ, right?
Yeah.
But, like, be the person that represents Christ, and, like, just showcase that character, right? But at the same time, it's like, you said not to. No, never mind. I kind of forgot.
No. That's good. That's good. I love what you said about being in the world but not of the world.
Yeah.
Question for you. Like, has that ever been something that you've struggled with, or how have you navigated? You said you're in grade 11. Yeah. And this girl's Miss Popular Girl. She's got friends, guys, and she's cool. She's a vibe. So how do you navigate that? Because I'm sure you don't go to a school where every single person is a Christian, and sometimes what Christians take a stand for, choose to do or not to do, is kind of loud. So how do you navigate in a time where no one wants to stand out? They want to fit in.
I think that same thing, like having boundaries, but it's also like it's like also being confident in God. It's like you don't want to lose yourself for other people's sake. It's like having godly desires over like your flesh is really important. Like, let's say you're with a bunch of people, even if you're around a bunch of people who are like of the world and things like that, it's like, for me, I don't even like want that life anymore. It's kind of to a point where it's like I'd rather look like crazy in their eyes and have an impact on them than like lose myself for their own thing. But it's also just having a heart that like kind of craves like the best for them, and like really thinking on their own part, not my own, just being like they need Christ like more than I want to like satisfy like my popularity or like my image and things like that. So I think that like really praying to God to have the right heart posture like whenever it comes to other people, and just really finding that balance between helping others, helping yourself, and things like that is really important.
That's good. I'm like, I don't know if you could tell, you have my wheels turning. And I'm trying to turn the pages to find James chapter 4, verse 7 to 10. And I think I've said this so many times because this is a prayer that I prayed for a while. And it's the famous verse that starts off with, submit yourselves to God and flee from sin, and he will draw near to him, and he will draw near to you, right? But then it goes on to say, James is super pointed, and he's talking about people who have been double-minded, who, they're in this and then they're out and they're lukewarm, that kind of vibe. And it says, may your joy turn into mourning, may the happiness be turned into sadness. And it sounds like a weird thing to be praying, but I actually prayed it over and over because I wanted to have a desire for the Lord more than anything. Because what you said is so good. Yes, you're going to stand out. Yes, it's going to be hard to navigate it. But if your true desire, not necessarily feelings, because you might feel sad that you're left out, you might feel whatever, but if your core, your heart says, no, I actually long for him, the things that maybe I once laughed at that everyone else is laughing at, like, God, turn that, make me sad about that. Make me actually mourn and grieve sin, like the things that are sin, lying, stealing, like please make me be sad over that, so that my desires are the things that help me to be this light, to be consecrated and okay, and you be enough. So yeah, so good, so very good. Thoughts, anything else to add from our studio audience? Bye. Jump in here.
Hi. I would like to add what you guys basically said, summed it up perfectly. But what I'd like to add is also that basically what Naomi said is very important to still have like values and stuff. And the thing is, like I've experienced it a lot where I've naturally made like a lot of friends, and I have this type of personality that it's really like it's a blessing and a curse, where it's like, oh, I want to be friends with this person, oh, I want to be friends with this person. And I get into these friend groups, I get to meet these people and everybody and stuff, and it's kind of like your environment kind of like poisons you or even just like, changes you and stuff. So I think having values and holding strong to your values is very, very important. And I've started learning that in the past few years in my life, whereas before I used to be like so okay with sin that it's like I'm a Christian, but it's like, hey, it's okay that they're doing sin, might as well just join in, which wasn't the best mentality at all. And once you understand the love of God, once you go through that process of truly dwelling in his presence, that's all that you desire. One thing that's I desire. Good.
Come on.
Only this I see.
Come on. Just
dwell.
Come on, you better come on, worship leader.
But
come
honestly,
on, Bri.
Yeah. It's like, it's really.
That's scripture, by the way. Come on.
Exactly.
That's
Psalms.
Yeah.
It's, once you've experienced that, now it kind of goes towards that when you go back to school and you see those people that you're friends with, you go through these friend groups and stuff, you go back home, then you start to cry. Then you start to mourn. You're crying out of a place of empathy, out of sympathy for these people, because what are they doing? Guess what Jesus did on the cross? He didn't send 12 legions of angels. He said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So in it, it's kind of like, I want to hold my values. I want to stand strong in Christ. But when you see other people, and even other people that claim to be Christians, and they're leading into just a bad way, like Carol said, you can't put a light under a bowl. You gotta shine that light towards others. It might be hard. Trust me, it's hard. I'm still going through that process even myself. But it's like, I've really started to realize through my walk with God and how much like I've actually, almost cried seeing people so okay with sin, so okay with just this world. That's kind of like, it does. That's like, so good, it goes from you crying, from what you've done, which is very good. Draw near to God, he draws near to you, you cry more, but also with other people, that gets added in there. So
that's so good, Brian. You know why that's so good? That's so good, because sometimes we can go and we can be like, I'm consecrating myself. I'm set apart. I'm fighting for the Lord. And then there is this weird, want to say like a legalistic, overly zealous thing where we're like, and you are all sinners and you're going, like you're going to die and go in flames and, I'm going to heaven and you should accept Christ because if not, you're da-da-da. And there's like this harping on them, but you have never grieved for them. Mm-hmm. Like your heart has never actually been saddened that they don't know the Lord and that truthfully they're walking blindly. Like your heart is not sad for that. Like, there's a disconnect, right? And Paul talks about it all the time. If you do all of this and you do not have love, then you're just a clanging cymbal, right? If we consecrate ourselves and we're telling people to do da-da-da-da-da, but yet we have not loved them, we don't feel any empathy for them, then it's just noise. And so that's so good, Brian. So good. And honestly, I think a really good way to end off, to be honest. Consecration is a beautiful thing, and the Lord has called us to it. And I think sanctuary is really a place that is consecrated, and the Lord is doing really incredible things, but it's not just in here. Like, the Lord calls us to be holy as he is holy, both in this room and outside. Amen. And so, yeah, I think that's it. Well, what's crazy is that's our first ever conversation episode. This is crazy. I fear we may be back.
We will most likely be back.
we will likely be back. So stay tuned, stay fresh, and who are we?
Sanctuary.
Let's go. Woo-woo.
You have been listening to Sanctuary on the Mic, a production made possible by Bethel Pentecostal Church, Ottawa. Today's episode was produced and edited by Jaden Dill, with a film support from TL. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, keep up with all the latest from Sanctuary. Follow us on Instagram at Sanctuary Ottawa. Thank you again for listening. We will see you next time. Who are we?
Also, guys, let it be known that Holy Ground date is actually having to shift. It's still going to be in February, but it's going to have to be February 13th, which is Friday the 13th. No way, really? Before Valentine's Day. But it's okay because Valentine's Day is on a Saturday, so that's perfect. Bye. Okay, guys, let's wrap this up. A little ghetto, maybe.
Exactly.
Are we? It's me having to. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Well, first of all, my eyes will be closed.
Okay, bye, cuties.
Bye.
Bye.